is not a man. He cannot lie. He will not lie. He cannot lie. He will not lie. He cannot lie. He will not lie. If you believe it, shout yes.
Pastor Ayo Oritsejafor is one of the foremost preachers of the gospel in the world today. But not too long ago, his story was not that simple to tell. The marriage of Joseph Monday Oritsejafor and Elizabeth Rowley Oritsejafor was blessed with a daughter. But Elizabeth wanted something more.
My mother was desperate for a male child, so he went to a Baptist church, the First Baptist Church in Lagos, to be specific, and asked God, cried on the altar, and asked God, if you give me a male child, I'll give him back to you. And that's how I was conceived and born.
When we were growing up, he didn't talk. When children normally talk, he did not start talking then.
For the first 5 years, I couldn't speak. And my mother said, after my 5th birthday, I began to talk like any other child without learning to speak at all.
Growing up was fun for little Ayo, but while he was still in his infancy, tragedy struck. His beloved father, Mr. Joseph Monday Oritsejafor, passed on.
I think it affected me greatly. I lost my father when I was 4 years old. I grew up feeling rejected. I grew up feeling neglected. I grew up feeling unwanted. I grew up feeling very lonely. I grew up feeling like nobody else cared about me except me. And so that became my philosophy as a child, as I grew up. Ayo, nobody else cares about you except you. So I will do anything and everything to take care of me, you know. That led into many things.
Because of the extreme sense of rejection he had, Ayo sought escape in drugs and acceptance with other young people who also had their own challenges.
He was still into all this Igbo smoking. He was into all these Sapele boys gang. He could fight. He doesn't talk much. He won't quarrel with you. But when you look for him, you will see what you want to. Everybody knew him then in Sapele as a bad boy.
Though he earned the respect of his gang members, Ayo still had a yearning in his heart that he knew only God could feel.
I remember eventually the day I cried to God in Lagos. I didn't know it was God I was really talking to, but I called God. I said, look, if you are God, do something and help me. I think I'm tired of this life. And I think that was the beginning of the turnaround.
The turnaround came in the historic town of Sapele. There, Ayo was invited to attend a crusade at the stadium, an invitation he accepted with reservations. But accepting that invitation marked the beginning of a new life.
I had an incredible encounter with Christ. And I was very, very much a drug addict, very strong on drugs, all kinds of drugs. So the usual thing for those who are on drugs is that it takes a process to come out of it. But for me, the day I went to the stadium in Sapele, to be specific, November 2nd, 1972, that day I gave my life to Christ. Something supernatural happened, and set me free right there at the stadium. And I tell you that on the spot, that was the last time I touched any drugs. That was the end. It ended, it stopped there, which is unusual.
He doesn't smoke again, no cigarettes, no igbo, nothing. He was, always going to church.
I left that place not knowing the commitment my mother made, but there was such a strong urge to buy a Bible. The next morning, I bought a Bible, and I immediately began to preach. A lot of people thought I had lost my mind. I started preaching almost like someone that has known the Bible all my life. And I broke away from drugs, from alcohol, from anything, from women, from this, from that, and just began to preach the gospel, even before I went to Bible college.
Pastor Ayo eventually attended Bible schools in Benin City and outside of Nigeria. He started ministry as a pastor in Church of God Mission, Sapele. His next assignment was at Church of God Mission, Ejiere in Warri, from where he built Church of God Mission Praise Center along Jakpa Road.
In 1987,
Pastor Ayo founded Word of Life Bible Church in Warri, a church that is one of the fastest growing in the world.
It doesn't matter what tribe you belong to. It doesn't matter where you come from. The God that I serve, He is a mighty God. He is the same yesterday. He is the same today. He is the same forever. Everybody say, it is possible.
Pastor Ayo is married to the elegant Mrs. Ayo Oritsejafor, and they are blessed with 3 wonderful children, Ayodele, Ayodeji, and Ayodeta. And who better can describe the man Papa Ayo than the woman after his heart?
I often say to people that he's not just great on the pulpit. A lot of people celebrate him as the best preacher on earth, one of the best that is. And I also do the same thing as well. But interestingly enough, I think I prefer him being my husband, my father, and the father to his children, because it's unbelievable. He's a gentleman of God. He's a man that loves peace. He embraces every ramification of humility in every essence of it. He's also a man who has a large heart. In other words, he never looks at you, he never sees you, with the name of a particular tribe or anything, because he's quite detribalized. He believes in people. He's the kind of man that loves to see people experience progress, success in every aspect of living. I can just go on, and he has a great passion for souls. He loves winning souls. For him, it is as many people into the kingdom. That's what makes the day. And he goes all out. There is no amount of money that Papa cannot put into crusade just to see thousands and millions of people troop into the kingdom. That is his own area of kick. And then, of course, as a father, he is wonderful. As a friend, he's ever there. As my lover, is a great one.
When men have failed you, when people have failed you, when friends have failed you, when everything else has failed you, God will remember your offerings, what you did yesterday, the house you built for God yesterday, the money you gave for ministry yesterday, what you did to the glory of God yesterday. God will remember today. If you believe it, wave your hand, shout yes. I say shout.
Pastor
yes.
Ayo's ministry has affected lives globally, as he has preached in virtually all the continents of the world. Some of the people who have come in close contact with him tell of the impact of his ministry on their lives.
The time I worship God in this Word of Life Bible Church, people who know me, they know. I may once a beggar, but I'm not begging in the road. But the prophecy of my father, Papa Ayo Oritsejafor, he changed my life, and he used me to change many people's life.
I, for instance, never thought of being somebody in life, not even owning a bicycle, not even building a house, not even being anything in life. But the moment I've come in contact with this man, I find my life changing from one stage to another.
My life has been blessed tremendously by this man of God. You see, I cannot tell you on camera what he has done for me personally. He has done so much for me that sometimes I begin to wonder, this man is not my blood, my flesh and blood brother or whatever. But he takes you the same way, like you are from his own personal family.
I am what I am today, first by the grace of God, and also by the love of our Father in the Lord, Papa Ayo Oritsejafor. He's so caring.
The impact of Pastor Ayo's ministry is not limited to the church only. Pastor Ayo has a heart for the less privileged in society.
Honestly, I think ministry will almost not be ministry without ministering to the poor. I think the poor play a very important role in whatever we would want to call ministry. God loves the poor. And anybody who is involved in ministry must touch the poor. And so I'm passionate about the poor.
Papa Ayo Oritsejafor has invested himself to God and to humanity. Is it in the area of making sure, for instance, he would always say that God has come into the ministry of making people who people don't even generally like or want, and making them people who people will be all over and all over them at the end of the day. He believes in raising people from nowhere and making them something. That's the word I was trying to look for. I mean, that is who I'm talking about. Is it by making sure that indigent students could fulfill their dreams in the area of education? Or is it by giving a helping hand to a woman in the market who does not have the wherewithal of starting business by establishing Eagle Flight Microfinance Bank?
I also do something every December 26th where I give out brand new cars to people, no matter your religion, no matter who you are, no matter where you come from, no matter your tribe. I give these to people, sometimes up to 6, 7, 8 brand new cars, and I wish I had more money to do more. Tricycles, I also give out so many, sometimes up to 10, 20, 25, as the case may be.
This man, Papa Ayo Oritsejafor, actually spent millions. There was a time I will never forget when a sign-out check of 20 million naira was raised just to buy foodstuff, clothing and some other items to those who were trapped there at the creeks as a result of the intertribal wars and all that was prevalent at that time. That is the man I'm talking about. There is nothing he cannot do to see that a human being could have a smile on their face.
As the Bible says, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the sons of God." Pastor Ayo has been involved in bringing solution to major militant crises in Nigeria, particularly in the Niger Delta region.
When it was really very bad, I knew that I will have to get involved. When you study the Bible, you will know that Jesus was always involved in human conflicts and problems and difficulties of men and misunderstandings and the rest of it. So I got involved very deeply. Even when the bullets were flying, I was all over the place, holding meetings with different people. I played my part very actively, and that's why till today I still have their respect because I have always tried my best to come from God's perspective, and they've received that, and I thank God that He enabled me to participate in bringing peace to the Niger Delta.
In recognition of his passion for the things of God, his forthrightness, and unimpeachable character, Pastor Ayo Oritsejafor was elected as president of the Christian Association of Nigeria in the year 2010. As the #1 Christian citizen in the country, Papa Ayo is also passionate about the unbridled hatred and persecution that the church is facing currently in Nigeria. In his usual manner, he cuts straight to the heart of the matter.
Well, what is going on is that, again, Nigeria is a country of hypocrites. We hate truth. We think in our national psyche that if we can continue to tell ourselves a lie, the lie will become the truth. We think that if we can continue to pretend that the truth doesn't exist, then the truth will just go away. But the reality of life is that it never works that way. Truth is truth. Jesus is referred to as the truth. They buried him, but the third day, the truth rose again. So you can't bury truth. You can't sweep truth under the carpet. The reality about Boko Haram is that this group is a terrorist group, #1. #2, Boko Haram is a terrorist group not fueled by poverty, but fueled by extreme religious fundamentalist ideology. It is an ideology issue. In the Niger Delta, it was economic. It was marginalization, deprivation. It was pollution. But what we're dealing with Boko Haram is an ideology. It's a religious ideology, not just a secular ideology, but a religious one. And that's what makes it very dangerous. And not until the world and Nigerians and those in charge will accept this fact, they will continue to deceive ourselves.
Pastor Ayo also feels that the church has a role to play in bringing peace to Nigeria.
#1, the church should pray. The church must pray. The church has to pray. We don't have a choice, because that is how we unleash spiritual power. Most of these people who do these things depend on some powers to do these things. So we can counter those powers through our prayers. And I have been saying, because sometimes some people say, but we have been praying. I have always said, don't judge God's ability to perform based on what you see. Judge God's ability to perform based on what you know about God. You see, knowing who God is, He is working when we don't even think He is. And eventually we're going to see this thing bow. So the church must pray. But also, the Bible says, watch and pray. Watch there speaks of participation. It means the church must speak out. We must continue to speak truth to power. We must let the world know that these kind of atrocities are happening in a place called Nigeria. We must speak out. And that's why I have made up my mind. I will never shut my mouth. My life has been threatened. There are those who have told me, if you keep quiet, this good thing will happen and that will. I don't need anything. I must speak for the church.
From a very humble beginning, Pastor Ayo's ministry has assumed a global dimension. Looking back, Papa recognizes the men whom God has used to give direction to his ministry.
#1 will be the late Archbishop Benson Idahosa. #2 will be Dr. Maurice Cerullo. Then #3 will be R.W. Shambach. Then #4 will be T.L. Osborne. And then I would probably want to add Kenneth Hagin, the late senior Kenneth Hagin. I think I would say these are principally the people who have truly, genuinely influenced my life, one way or the other. And I'm grateful to God for them.
In his 40 years of ministry, Papa Ayo has had contacts with many people who have stood with him in good times and in bad times. He has some special words for these wonderful men and women.
God bless you. God bless you because you have done the right thing. You have had the right heart. You have had the right attitude. As I sit here, I have said it earlier, I cannot say I'm perfect. But God gave you to me. Because for every vision, there must be visionaries, not just one man. One man gets the vision, but men and women run with the vision. And if you are one of those that have helped me to run with this vision, only heaven will repay you. Only heaven will reward you. The Bible says, without faith, it is impossible to please God. You have served God and followed me by faith. Then the Bible says, he that cometh to God must believe that he is, because we can't see him, but must also believe that he is a rewarder of them who diligently seek him. As you have stood with me, you have sought God through me. May this God, whom I have served for 40 years, also meet you at the point of your need. God bless you richly.
Many people in the Bible are remembered for many different things. What would Papa Ayo want to be remembered for?
I would like to be remembered as a man who loved God, but also as a man who loved people, as a man who will do whatever it takes to do the will of God in this world. I would like to be remembered as a man of excellence. You see, the eagle has two very important things. There are many things about the eagle: beauty and strength. But strength is a result of passion and love. So I would want to be remembered for some of these things. I would want to be remembered as one that helped build the broken walls. I would want to be remembered as one that always took side with God. I would want to always be remembered as one that put God first in my life.
Oh my God, honey, it is 40 years ago God called you. I am such a proud wife, seeing my husband taking the banners of Jesus Christ all over the world. You are the president of Christian Association of Nigeria today because you love God and you love His people. I love you. I am proud of you. You're the greatest thing that has ever happened to me and to the Christian race. And of course, Nigerians celebrate you today because you are indeed a great man of God. Happy celebration. Happy anniversary.
As the eagle soars far above the storms and reaches for the skies with great vision and strength, so has God raised the man, Pastor Ayo Oritsejafor, John Bull, Joseph Oritsejafor, to great heights in life. As he marks his 40 years in ministry, the world today celebrates a man of uncommon vision, passion, and compassion. A man who has made a mark on the sands of time. This is not the end of the road. It is only the beginning of another phase of his journey, the journey of a lifetime.